Okay, let's start off, shall we? On the report, backstage details on what Vince McMahon wants from NXT, major plan changes. So here are the reports. I woke up to this morning reading the plans that they are going to rebrand WWE NXT, and it's kind NXT has been their best brand. But I think ever since AEW crushed NXT on the ratings in the Wednesday Night War, I think Vince has been petty against NXT, and hence this planned rebranding of WWE is developmental, formerly the third brand in WWE. So when we look back then, NXT was being pushed as the third brand, especially in 2019 when the higher ups, the bookers, allowed NXT to win Survivor Series, probably to give them momentum against All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, because All Elite Wrestling and NXT were shown on the same time slot during Wednesday. But with that being said, NXT only garnered a few boosts in comparison to a permanent boost, a temporary boost against AEW, and AEW still end up winning the ratings war during Wednesday nights. And NXT has been very different ever since going to the USA Network. NXT is being more streamlined with storylines instead of being sports oriented. Remember, when NXT was on the WWE Network back then, it was only running at 1 hour and it had a rotating roster, meaning for this week you only see these guys, next week only these guys. So there is a consistent exposure to the whole NXT roster. Now, since it's 2 hours, they have to fill in some time. We haven't got that rotating roster. And it also now includes the Cruiserweight division, which has seceded from the main roster back to NXT. Now, NXT nowadays has weird love stories, comedy. Remember Broserweights and Matt Riddle? Good stuff. And Shotzi fucking Blackheart. Well, now she's on the main roster. God bless that. And it has been on a downfall. The Dexter Loomis Indy Hartwell storyline, I'm not a fan of by any means. And I think that was one of those final nail in the coffin. They even broke up the Undisputed Era because they don't have any more creative ideas for that stable. And Undisputed Era was the flag bearers of the NXT brand during its second prime. What I mean by second prime is it had that down time when Shinsuke and Bobby Roode were the NXT champions, and then when the Undisputed Era rolled, going into the USA Network, NXT was on top again. But nothing can beat the golden age of NXT when Finn Balor was champ. Good days. Kevin Owens was champion. NXT Revolution, best NXT takeover to date for me. NXT Brooklyn, like that. Now it's just WWE Light. So let's just read into this article by Sportskeeda. The multiple major releases from NXT recently have left fans wondering as to what WWE chairman Vince McMahon is planning to do. The reports now claim that NXT is set to undergo some major changes, and a memo has been sent out to WWE's third brand. Note that third brand. Remember, they counted Charlotte Flair's NXT title reign last year when feuding with Rhea Ripley. Now, I think her count went from 13 to 11 or 12 to 4, from 14 to 12 because she won the Raw Women's title this year. I don't know. I lost count. The point is, her NXT Women's Championship reign doesn't count to her bid to tie her father as a 16-time world champion. On the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer revealed that Triple H and Shawn Michaels were not involved in the decision to release multiple NXT talents recently. It was Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis who picked the names. Meltzer claimed that the feeling is that a lot of competitors in WWE and NXT are too small and too old. So Paul Levesque, that's Triple H's real name, Shawn Michaels. I'm amazed they gave Triple H the name Paul Levesque and not Michael Hickenbottom for Shawn Michaels. They didn't have anything to do with the cuts. It was done by Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis. The basic gist is that NXT is going to change in some ways, and they think that a lot of competitors are too old. Dave Meltzer added that the original idea behind NXT was to find and develop new megastars for WWE who can main event WrestleMania. Meltzer claimed that WWE wants more wrestlers like Roman Reigns, so they want more big guys. Yeah, we know the NXT was to find and develop new megastars who can main event WrestleMania. But get this, in 2017 you got Kevin Owens as Universal Champion and denied him of a main event spot at WrestleMania against Chris Jericho, downgraded him to the US title level scene. He could have had multiple opportunities for Finn Balor, but no. You thought Kevin Owens was out of shape, Finn Balor was too small, so the only megastar that WWE sees as a product from NXT is Roman Reigns. It was further revealed that the feeling within WWE is that NXT lost the war against AEW. They now want to go in a direction with NXT and have younger and bigger workers. This was reportedly why several cuts were made last week. Meltzer added that the memo was sent out revealing what WWE actually wants from NXT, and this is the quote from Dave Meltzer. The wording is no more midgets, no one starting in their 30s, and they want people who can be box office attractions and main characters. So Bobby Fish released because he's 44 goddamn fucking years old. Yeah, but Finn Balor's still here. I think he's gonna get the cut soon. I mean, he got beat up by Roman last week on SmackDown. That could ride him up. So who are the released NXT stars? We got Undisputed Era member Bobby Fish, former North American champion Bronson Reed, and Mercedes Martinez, who returned to NXT just a couple months ago after that horrible Retribution storyline. Other release names are Tyler Ross, who is part of Diamond Mine. What the fuck? Leon Rupp. I don't care about Leon Rupp. He's a former NA champion, but he's a joke of an NA champion. Giant Zangier, Jake Atlas, Iris Sterling, Kona Reeves, Stephen A. Smith, Zachariah Smith, and Asher Hale. So among all of those, the big names were Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, and Mercedes Martinez. I forgot Bronson Reed was an NXT North American champ. Who beat Bronson Reed? Who beat Bronson? Let me just... Was it Kushida? Oh, it's Isaiah Swerve Scott. Well, let me adjust it. Yeah, it's Isaiah Swerve Scott. Okay. So there. NXT. This is your brand. This is your developmental brand. This is your third brand. You've invested on this brand for almost 11 years. 11 years! It got rebranded in 2012. So, this iteration of NXT when rebranded in 2021 is 9 years. It's more like 2012 to 2021. And what has gotten involved with that? What did WWE got in with that? Call-ups were disgusting. Only a few shine, like the Shield. Well, Finn Balor, Roman, yeah, the Shield, Finn Balor. But most of your call-ups were a fucking bust. I'm sorry about this, but yeah, Kevin Owens wasn't a bus. Sami Zayn wasn't a bus. The Four Horsewomen wasn't a bus. But sure damn, they've invested on the UFC Horsewomen only to get released. We didn't get that Horsewomen versus Horsewomen match that we were supposedly gonna have because Ronda Rousey sat her ass for 2 years now. What is there left to say? NXT and AEW are the two brands and promotions that I've been very critical of. NXT went head to head to AEW. Developmental brand went to head to AEW. And Vince was expecting to beat it. I don't consider NXT a third brand. I still consider it as a developmental brand. So, Charlotte challenging Rhea last year, and Edge was teasing an NXT title this year. Daniel Bryan challenging Adam Cole was just a boost. I think it's done. I think NXT is dead. I think Vince treats NXT as a fucking joke. Yeah. I don't know what would be. Now that it's gonna cut off, I think it will release most of the cruiserweights now. I mean, 205 Live has like 5 people on the main roster. And that myself is what the cruiserweight division really is in the dubs. But yeah. I'm sorry, NXT. But you're gonna be dead moving forward. You're gonna be full of big sweaty guys now. I don't know when will the rebranding happen. But yeah. Oh yeah, and please release Ricochet. That's the end of the video. Goodbye everyone.